Have you ever spent hours thinking about a decision, only to end up doing nothing? You think about what might go wrong. You imagine every possible failure, and slowly, without realizing it, your thoughts become a prison. Overthinking is dangerous, not because thinking is bad, but because too much thinking can destroy action. Today, I want to tell you a short story. A story about a young man whose biggest enemy was not failure, but his own mind. And this story might completely change how you deal with your thoughts. In a quiet town lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel was known as one of the smartest people in the town. Teachers admired him. Friends asked him for advice. Everyone believed he would do something great in life. Daniel loved thinking. He analyzed everything, every choice, every possibility, every risk. At first, this seemed like a strength, but slowly, that strength turned into a weakness. One day, Daniel received an opportunity. A company in the city offered him a job. It was a good opportunity. Good salaried, a chance to grow. Most people would accept immediately, but Daniel didn't. Instead, he started thinking, what if I fail? What if the job is too difficult? What if the city life is too expensive? What if I make the wrong choice? Days passed, then weeks passed, and while Daniel kept thinking, someone else accepted the job. The opportunity disappeared. But that was not the end. Another opportunity came. This time, a friend invited Daniel to start a small business together. His friend said, Daniel, you're smart. If we work together, we can build something great. But again, Daniel started thinking, what if the business fails? What if we lose money? What if people laugh at us? What if we argue? While Daniel kept thinking, his friend started the business with someone else. A year later, the business became successful. Daniel watched from a distance. And again, he did nothing. Daniel's frustration began to grow. He saw others succeed. He saw friends moving forward. Social media, stories, successes all around him, while he remained stuck, paralyzed by his own mind. He scrolled, he compared, he doubted. He realized he was running out of time, and still he hesitated. And that's when the feelings of regret hit him the hardest. Daniel knew deep down something had to change. One evening, Daniel went for a walk. His mind was full of frustration. While walking to the park, he saw an old man sitting quietly on a bench. The old man looked peaceful, calm, relaxed. Daniel sat beside him. After a few minutes, the old man asked, "You seem troubled. What is bothering you?" Daniel sighed. "I think too much." The old man smiled. "Thinking is good." Daniel shook his head. "No, I think so much that I cannot act." For a moment, the old man remained silent. Then he said, "Let me tell you a small story." The old man pointed toward a river nearby. "Look at that river." Daniel looked. The water flowed smoothly. The old man asked, "What do you see?" Daniel replied, "I see water flowing." The old man nodded. "Now imagine if the river stopped to think about every rock in its path. What if the river said, 'What if the rock blocks me? What if I cannot pass? What if I take the wrong direction?'" Daniel stayed quiet. The old man continued, "If the river kept thinking like that, it would never move. But the river doesn't think too much. It simply flows. And because it flows, it eventually finds its way." Daniel began to understand. The old man looked at him and said, "You are like a river that refuses to move. You are afraid of rocks that may never appear. You are solving problems that do not exist yet." Daniel felt something change inside him. The old man said something Daniel would never forget. Thinking should guide action, not replace it. Daniel began to act. Slowly, step by step. He planned, he worked, he tried, and he failed. And he tried again. Each small action built momentum. Each small success strengthened his confidence. He started projects, shared ideas, and embraced opportunities he once ignored. He learned that mistakes weren't failures. They were lessons. He understood that overthinking is temporary, but action creates permanent change. Day by day, Daniel transformed, from hesitation to determination, from doubt to confidence, from thinking he knew to knowing by doing. At the end, Daniel stood on a hilltop, looking at the sunrise. He felt the warmth of a new beginning. He had learned the most important lesson. Knowing is only the start. Action is what turns dreams into reality. And now, he moves forward with courage, clarity, and purpose. And you can do the same. Remember, you're losing only if you think you already know. Open your mind, take action, and your life will never be the same again.